Hey folks, this is Brian here with Survival on Purpose, and I want to shoot a quick video in my Survival on a Shoestring series about low-cost, high-quality items that you can use in the outdoors, whether you're surviving or just camping, trying to have a good time. And today's, I want to talk about fire a little bit. Another one of my favorite fire resources for fire starting and fire use is Fatwood. And you can see the yellowish in this wood. This comes from, got a couple of pieces here. This comes from pine trees, and you can find it at the crotch of where maybe a limb sticking out, or especially where I found this was a blown down stump, what's left in the bottom of it, at the very bottom of the tree. And sometimes you can find it in roots, you know, if you're walking through the woods. And you see, if you're walking through the woods and you see a pine stump, just check it out. If you find any wood that's really hard and not rotted and it's kind of yellowish, that's going to be Fatwood. Now the way you can tell is split it, cut it open, smell of it, it'll smell a lot like turpentine or some chemicals. But the reason it smells like that is because it's got these oils in it, some kind of oils that are very flammable. That's kind of what they made turpentine out of, I think, is out of pine. So without spending a lot of money, you can have something that's really cool to help and really helpful and useful. I can tell you, I saw this the other day, the first time ever at Walmart. That was a box, probably 8 inches by 6 inches by 6 inches of Fatwood sticks for 10 bucks. None of it to me looked as good as this. That's extremely yellow. That's like high grade Fatwood. So let's take a look and see how you use this and why it's such a great resource for free if you find it. Okay, so Fatwood like this, and this is just a couple little pieces. There's a couple things you can do with it. But you can actually split it down and make real tiny slivers out of it and use it to help start your fire for your tinder. And another thing you can do with it, I like to do, is create, it's called like a feather stick. And it's just, if you don't know what a feather stick is, it's basically where you just kind of peel down little shavings off a stick. They curl up like little feathers and you make it look like a feather. I can tell you that Fatwood is a little challenging because of the density of the wood, and it's like almost very waxy because of the resins that are in it. But the goal is to create a whole lot of surface area here that'll catch a spark and won't be so big that it's hard to light. I'm using my old hickory butcher knife that I actually did. That's called a force patina. I used mustard and lemon juice to write on that with, to kind of put the old Survival on Purpose name on it. So just for fun, to see what it would look like. So one thing you can do with a good piece of Fatwood is, I want to kind of make this down a little smaller to open up the inside, get inside, is scrape this. You should be able to use the back of your knife. Just scrape it and get some really fine shavings there. That's why you want a good 90-degree spine on the back of your knife, for one reason. And we can make a little pile of these. It's almost like wax. I'll get a few more. Make a pile there. Waste not, want not. I broke the end of this feather stick off earlier. It's kind of messed up. You can take some feather out the rest of the little stick that you scraped. And maybe split it down a couple more times to make it smaller. You're looking for some really, really small wood here. It'll catch fire really quickly, and the smaller the better. So if it's probably gonna be pretty good. Make a couple, get this one split out a little more. It may seem like ridiculous, but really what you want, something that's going to catch quickly. So okay, put your other on here. And you can see, as you start adding Fatwood to it, it burns very, very hot, very brightly. And this point forward, you just keep adding wood and you'll have a fire. So that is why Fatwood is one of my favorite resources. This cost me nothing but a little bit of time digging it out of a stump and splitting some of it down. You got to split it down into the right size pieces for what you need, but that's you see how long those little sticks are burning too. They won't burn up as quickly as a regular wood because of the oils that are in them that cause them to be fatwood or pitchwood. Actually act like a fuel in a candle wick, so they don't burn up the wood as quickly. And you can also see the smoke is very, very black coming off this little fire, which is another indication of the chemicals, the oils that are in it. Okay, well that is another video in our Survival on a Shoestring series about low budget, high value items that can help you in the woods. And this is Fatwood. Fatwood, one of my favorite fire resources. You can buy a whole box of this at Walmart for 10 bucks, or you can find it for free in the woods like I did. Just look for the little yellow color in the wood at the bottom of a pine stump or whatever, and when you break it, you can smell the turpentine smell. I'd like to offer a big thank you to John at the MI Woodsman channel. Really, thanks for helping me out, for recommending my channel to your viewers. And if you haven't seen John's channel, check it out. It's the MI Woodsman on YouTube. It's really good. He's got some great information on there. I'll put a link below. John, I really appreciate it. And for everybody, I appreciate your watching. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your clicking the little thumbs up thing down there, and I really appreciate your subscriptions. If you like the channel, tell your friends about it. Maybe they'll like it too. And I really appreciate it. Once again, this is Brian with Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident. See you next time.